Okay, so the left-hand one was your before. Okay, you can see as we discussed, obviously the club was a long way kind of leaning forward. The ball now is a lot nearer to your right foot. That's going to mean when you make a good swing, the ball's going to come off very, very low. You're not going to get the loft of the golf club and get that ball up in the air as we want to try and do. If you see a ball going low, human nature is going to be able to try and help it up in the air, or lean back, or just do something to try and get that ball up in the air, okay? We want to try and get that golf ball now a little bit more towards the centre. Now, this movement here was the first swing we made, okay? So you miss it, the golf ball there, doesn't matter. We swung back, okay? Ball was in the wrong spot. Arms are quite close to the body, which we discussed last week, and we'll go a bit more detail as we go through this video now, but arms quite close to the body, so we topped it, okay? As you walk forward to that goal, we try to catch it midway through, never let go of the golf ball, that's the golf club, came back with the grip still in position, the ball's kind of pinging around, then put the club down there with the feet kind of shuffling, and then you sort of didn't really get set correctly, and did pretty much the same kind of shot again, and then you went after the golf ball. Now, when you then came back and you re-gripped it, because you had to let go of the club, because you had to get the ball from the bottom of the tray, okay, you went back to a slightly better movement. And the ball was still a little bit further back than it would have been, but it was a better position, a better sequence, better setup, and as a result, a better shot, okay? What we're going to try and do, as we said, every single shot you hit, you can see now from here a much more sort of centred, or if actually just a bit left of centre ball position, which is great, okay? It's a much more efficient position to have the golf ball, okay? Swing the golf club back, bring the golf ball back, reset with the club now, matching up to that blue line there, more vertical, putting both hands on the club, and then finally you decide where comfort would be. I'll put my feet down there, and then once you did that, okay, nice and relaxed, hit the golf ball, okay? And then you went to get the next ball, dragged it back in with one hand on the golf club, put the ball down somewhere when you hit the golf ball, go through that sequence again, getting yourself set up, again, in good position now with that ball slightly further forward. And in terms of the swing now, again, we talked last about that L position, you're getting that quite well now, okay, in terms of the left arm and a bit of hinge there now. In time, I think once you got this set up correct, and we'll look at it more on the golf course next time, getting that hinge a bit more, but for the moment, we're making a sufficient enough hinge to get some power. As you can see, 70 or 80 yards as we come back to the golf ball. Really good strike there now, okay? That swing through now is a bit more movement with your arms. Still a little bit tucked up here slightly, okay? If the setup is good and we make a slight error in the swing, we get a slightly errored shot. It goes on the ground a bit low, but it'll still go somewhere. If the setup is poor and the ball's way back here and the hands are way forward and you pull your arms in, that's three things that are potentially wrong. Three little wrongs make a big wrong, and the ball then goes on the ground somewhere, or you miss the ball, or sort of pops up in the air and goes about 10 yards, okay? So by having a better setup, it gives you a bigger margin for error, basically. You can get away with human error, which we're going to have, okay? You can't stop human error, it's just part and parcel of playing golf, okay? Golf is not a game of perfect, unfortunately. We tend to miss the ball more than hit the ball properly. But if we can set up to it better, at least those miss hits are going to be a better miss hit, okay? And then I say if we can go through that sequence there now with that club down first, the swing you're making there was far, in the last 3 or 4 shots I think was, well, the last one 50 yards there, but the ones prior to that was sort of 70, 77, 76, and getting up in the air, and well, a couple went to the left there, but the strike was certainly what we're looking for more, okay? If we can get into that routine, get into that habit, and if the ball goes a bit offline, or goes a bit left, or goes a bit right, don't always question what went wrong, just step back off the mat, think about where your next shot wants to go, because you need to get in the habit when you hit on the ball on the driving range especially, is okay, right, where do I want to hit this white ball? Rather than, and if we're honest, you probably go to the range and go, right, let's hit the ball good. Worry about the contact more as opposed to where'd that ball go. And we used to get guys come off the sims on the range before, and they walk from the range, they say, how you going, all right? Oh, I'm striking the ball great. I'd be like, okay, brilliant, right on, yeah. They on the golf course and be terrible. They walk back in, how'd you play? Oh, terrible. Strike it good though? Yeah, strike it really good, but it's terrible, but I can play. Okay, fine. So why are you worrying about hitting the ball in the range good when you're not worrying about hitting the ball in the direction you want to go? You stand there and just machine gun bill golf swings over and over again. Eventually you'll figure out a good shot. Is it a good swing? Potentially not. Okay, so try and get that habit of every shot is going to be one shot. Pick different targets, aim for different things. Just challenge yourself. Try what different clubs do. Try a 5-iron, try a 7-iron, try a lofted club. Just see what certain clubs do. If you hit a bad shot, okay, step back, we'll do it again. If it's a constant run of 3, 4, 5, 6 shots in a row, then probably doing something there we need to try and work out or work on. In most cases, your bad shot is hitting the top of the golf ball, which for you is when your arms start tucking in, as we show you on here now, So you can remember in the video when you come through, your arms getting quite close. Oops, sorry, quite close to the body there. Okay, if your arms start here and they finish sort of here somewhere, they're just lifting up, aren't they? Which means you're going to touch top of the ball. Okay, just keeping that kind of arc and that circle, or half circle, I suppose, with the goal swing. That kind of makes sense, then, yeah?
Yeah.
So we can think a bit less, just let your ability to some degree come through, because you swing the goal club nicely. I think you were just setting up a little bit skew-if, and then you hit one shot about halfway through where you said, I felt uncomfortable there. So I asked the question, did you feel too far from the ball? And you're like, yeah, I did. But you still made contact with it, you still tried to make the golf shot work, didn't you? But never going to work. If you try and drive a car from, I know, here to North Wales, and it's my leg position, you get there, but your back would be in bits after about 2 or 3 miles, wouldn't it? So, okay,
Yeah.
excellent.